Hi guys, and in this video I'll be talking about the Sony nifty 50 and why it's so important to keep this in your camera bag. So let me start off by saying I'm not saying this is the only lens to have if you just want to have one lens. But then again, I'm a strong believer that you create the shots, don't let the shots create you.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So since doing media work, videos, photos, etc., I've only had 3 lenses. I've only worked with 3 or 4 lenses, but the 3 that definitely stand out is obviously this, the 50mm, the 2.8 16mm that I'm recording on now, and a 28 to 70mm, which was for my full frame camera. And that was okay, but again, it's a kit lens, so it's not going to be the best. With the 50mm being an OSS lens and it having such a low aperture of 1.8, I'm really going to be using this lens when I want the viewer just to simply focus on one thing, because it literally will blur out everything else in the background and it will make things pop. It gives it that nice sensation. It gives it that nice professional look. Don't get me wrong, you can get some professional looks without having the background all blurred out, but you'll see what I'm saying. Just let me do some slow motion. So as you could tell, it performs absolutely amazing, and with it being a 1.8 lens, it's really good in low light situations because it's really going to give that wide aperture and it's going to really allow you to work in some dark areas without noise and without having to bump up the ISO, which brings some noise, especially on cameras with a smaller sensor. Looking at photos, it's not really as sharp because again, it wants to try and blur out some of the background. It wants to blur out edges of the person you're focusing on, so you can stop it up and stop it into a 3.5 or a 4, but I will usually use this around 1.8 or 2.5, and if I want to do anything lower and I need to make it sharper, I'll go into Lightroom and play around with some of the settings on that. So when it comes to video, which is primarily what I do, this is a bad man. Because it's an APS-C Sony sensor, it's got a 1.5 crop, so this 50mm turns into a 75mm. I know some people don't like calling it, but it's a 75mm in my eyes because it gives me that nice close zoomed in look. And when you pair that with the clear image zoom that the Sony has built into it, it's a winner. So I think the Sony zoom does a 1.4 and then it does a 2. So effectively, I could turn this into a 150mm with no sort of problems with my footage, and on top of that, the clear image zoom works amazing. So if I put some footage in at 150, you'd think I'm using a normal 150 lens, like a telephoto lens or something, and you would notice that the bokeh stays the same, so it's still smooth, it's still buttery, it's still got all of that goodness, but in this nice portable design. If you are into vlogging, I will tell you straight away, this is not the lens. You want a wide angle lens, something like the 16mm, which is what I'm using now, but definitely not this, because literally it will make your head look twice in size. I've got a big head as it is, so I definitely won't be using this if I decide to do any sort of vlogging. I'm going to stick to the 16mm, unless you've got one of them heads. Where's it? You know that small head guy, where's he from?
You have any idea how much that stings?
Yeah, Men in Black. So the guy from Men in Black, that little head, yeah, if you've got that, you're cool, use this to vlog. But if you haven't got that small head, stick to the 60mm or anything wider. So yeah guys, that's an idea of how I like to use the lens and why I say this lens is so important. Remember, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification so you'll be notified of the new videos. Give it a like if it's helped or if you've learned something, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.